Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Chris, also known as Voodoo, and today I'm just going to be bringing you a little tutorial on how to make another Twitch overlay, and this one's mainly for ghosts. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to open up Photoshop, obviously. You go to File, New, 1280 by 720, and change the resolution to 300. If you put it at 300 pixels per inch, it'll be the highest possible quality that you can get, or that you want. If you go any higher than it, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. And 720, it's actually smaller if it's in if you have 72 pixels per inch. So I like going 300. It's just standard. That's usually if you're going to print something out, that's usually what you go for. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up a Call of Duty picture. So I'm just going to go, and I have a shitload of new folders for no reason. I'm just going to go and open up the Fwiz stream overlay that I have. Never mind, that was the wrong one. This, because it has already a background that I've already selected, and I'm just gonna bring this over now. Basically, you can get this background from really any stream, just streaming yourself. You can find this background. I didn't crop it perfectly. However, this is basically what I have to live with. So this is my Twitch screen. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to, let's see, how can I add in? I want to figure out, alright, so you come over here, new guide. Oh, that's the problem, it was over here. So I'm just going to put in 50%, okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create a new guide and go 50% I think it's horizontally. Alright, so that's going to find the exact center. And I'm just going to quickly put that in. So that's going to find the exact center of my image. And now I can work with it however I want. So now that we've got that all set up and we've got basically everything that we need for our overlay, really all that you really need is the top of this to fit properly. What I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to kind of make another overlay, because the one that I have I'm not really feeling comfortable with. It's not a bad overlay, obviously, but I feel like I could do a lot better as a designer. So I'm just trying to think of what I could possibly do as an image. So what you want to do is I'm just going to come over here to the shape tool. You can use marquee if you want. It doesn't really make a difference. All you have to do is make a new layer and just kind of decide how big you want your overlay to be. In my case, I want it to be above this. That way it's not really interfering with any of the important heads-up display components. And I want mine to be like a nice gray. I think I might actually make mine like a bluish, kind of like a dark blue. Like a dark blue gray kind of color. I have to play around with the color, obviously. Maybe a lighter color is what I'm looking for, actually. So I'll start off with like a grayish white, and so I'm just going to kind of zoom in real quick and open up my guide. Now, I have a webcam, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a webcam spot. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take marquee, and I'm just going to click and drag, new layer, and then put a gradient on, or just click G, put a bucket on that, and I'm just going to resize it to a size that I think would fit nicely. And I'm going to find a place where I can put the webcam. So right here looks like it will do. That seems like a good spot. And now I'm just going to find the middle of this. Obviously, Control R, and you just click on the ruler and drag it over. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to resize it to about 10 pixels in, so 1016, so that'll go to 26, and then, excuse me, this one will go from 285 to 295. I'm gonna leave, okay, I don't know what I just did on that. I'm gonna leave this side regular, because I'm gonna actually just have the screen end. And then on this side, I'm going to go from 433 to 423. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to resize it. Control J, Control T. and just kind of resize it so it'll fit properly. And then I'm just gonna bring it down really quick because that seems like it would fit better. Alright, so that is what my webcam will look like. Actually, no. I need to move that over a bit. Just like that. That looks good. Just so that it's more even, because that didn't really look 100% even in my opinion. Now it does. So that's what the webcam kind of looks like. Maybe it's just a little bit too big, so Control T and just kind of resize it a bit and center it right back up. So that looks good to me. I can put my webcam in there now whenever I'm playing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a quick little name box here. Just line that up right there. And right here you can put what your name is, and you'll put your secondary color. So I'll put maybe like a nice little blue. I think I'll do it like kind of like a grayish blue. Looks like a good color. And so I'll zoom in and I'll just kind of line it up. And my name, Chris. Now you can put your gamer tag, your full name, anything really you want can go there. And you're just going to want to find the center again. So Control H, move this out of the way. Find the center of my rectangle, which is this. Alright, and I'm just going to crop it real quick. Just so that gets out of the way. And now I can find the center of it, which is right here. And then I'll just bring my name to the center, and we are good. Now, another thing that you can do is if you want, you can like you can make it so that your name has your second name too. So if you want Voodoo in there, you can put Voodoo in there. And I'm just gonna move it over a little bit, just enough so that it looks more even with this because of this block here. Alright, so that looks good to me. That looks pretty much even. So that's where your webcam will go. Now up here you want your social media, I guess. So some of the ways that you can do social media is you can download an icons pack, like something that I have here in my graphics pack. I'm just going to bring this out really quick because I'm going to use this basically for everything. And you go in and you got icons, and I downloaded this off of a website. I think it's called Pix Eden, not this. It's this. And so this has basically all the icons that I want. And I'm not going to be using this for Twitch, so you don't have to worry about making your own. So I'm just going to go, and so here's the Twitter one that I'm going to be using, and you want the normal. And you just click and drag it over into here. Now, you have to kind of be careful because you want them to stay the same size. So what you're going to do is you're going to convert this to a smart object so the drop shadows and stuff don't get messed up. And you're going to kind of take control, and I'm going to bring mine down to 40 pixels by 40 pixels to start. And basically what that does is it just brings me into more perspective. Now that I have it lined up, I can line it up how I want it and bring it all the way down. So 24 by 24 is what I'm going to be looking at in terms of Twitter, or in terms of icons. So I'll put that right over there, and I'm going to bring in my YouTube one. So here's the YouTube logo. Take the normal, that way it's gray, and just kind of line it up again. Put the top of this all the way up here, okay? Convert to smart object. Fit that back up, and bring that all the way back down to 24 by 24. And now you have two perfectly sized, perfectly even, like rulered wise in the middle of this, and now you can basically do whatever you want with it. So I'm gonna put my Twitter there, so at ESN_voodoo will go right in here, and I'll change the color of this to match my secondary color that I've already chosen, and I'm just gonna copy this, that way I have that for later. So here, let me just delete that. Alright, so I'll put in at ESN_voodoo, and that is the color that I will be using for my text. Alright, so that's good, and I'm going to fix my Twitter by double clicking on it, and you go down here and you change the color of your shape. Okay, and click Control S to save it, and you're back. And you have basically everything that you need right there. So that looks pretty good right now. And so I'm just going to keep that right in the middle. And your rectangle here, you're going to want to even it out and put it in the center. Control T, and then you're just going to bring this down, the ruler, so that you can center everything. So we're gonna rasterize this, because for some reason Photoshop doesn't like it if you try to put a ruler on a like a smart object or a shape. It's really difficult with that. So you're just gonna line up your text. You're gonna line up your icons. So your icons are already lined up the way that you want them to be. And Control J and bring your other text over here. Now, you want to find a good spacing. So I'm going to line mine up. And so, as you see, it's perfectly lined up with the edge of this. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 looks like a good spacing. So I'll go over here and do that too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now you know that they are perfectly spaced. That way it looks the best. Now, I did this wrong. And so I'm going to have to do it again. What you want to do is you want to click left align text, bring this over to the side, and then do it from 10 over there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, you don't have to do it with this one because this is already the size, this is already like what you want. So / Voodoo GFX, that's my YouTube channel, as you see by watching this. And I'm just going to edit my YouTube icon, Control V with the color, Control S to save, and now I can close out both of these icons and the icons pack because I'm not going to be using it. Now, that seems like not really enough for this. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to add in my logo that I already have. So libraries, I'm going to go over to pictures, my old stuff, and Voodoo, and here is my logo. And I have it saved as a PNG. That way it's really the best quality. Everything can stay the same. And I'm just going to change this percentage to 10%. Make sure that it is locked. If it's not locked, it'll bug out. So 10%. Okay. Zoom all the way out. Control T and click and drag. This makes it easier for me to just manipulate it the size that I want it to be. Now, I can do it 24 by 24 like my other icons, but it's my logo, so I want it to stand out a little bit. So I'm going to do it twice that size. So I'll do 50 by 50 or 48 by 48. Whichever one you prefer, I'll do 48 by 48. That way it stays consistent. And I'm just going to find the center of this image. So right here is good. Okay, so that's what I want my logo to look like, and now obviously you want to change the color of it. So I'm going to change the color of it. I'm going to make it gray. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to change it to kind of like a dark blue. This dark blue color. Now, what I can do is I can play around the photoshopping and everything. I'm not gonna do that. So actually, I'll make it white. I believe I'll make it white, and that works. That looks fine. When you go up to 100%, that's the way that everybody's gonna see it. But if you want to be professional about it, which I want to, obviously, so I'm gonna go over and here's my logo, and it's got the PSD and everything, colors and everything. This is just a gradient of it, and here is. I don't know where the V is. Oh, right, it's not a V. So I'm going to change the color and Control V. So now I have that. And Control V. So I've got the two colors. This is the color that I want it to be. And I'm just going to save it as a smart object. Or just convert it to a smart object. That way I can just click and drag it in. It doesn't have to be saved that way. So exit out and click no, and we're just gonna zoom out, do the same thing, lock 10%, okay, and click and drag it in. And now you see it's got like the right shape and everything. And so now we're just gonna bring it, we're just gonna resize it down to, we want it 24, or not 24, but we want it to be like around the right size. So this looks good to me. It's a good amount sticking out from the stream overlay. Now what you can do is you can rasterize it, rasterize layer, and then you have it the right size, and then you can bring it down all the way to 48 by 48 if you want, which I just did, and that way it's perfectly even like you wanted it to be. Okay, so that looks good, and now what we got to do is we have to even everything up. So this pairs with the YouTube, so we're going to group that and call that the YouTube folder. We're going to group this up and go for a Twitter. And actually this is not right. Bring this into the Twitter folder, bring this out of the Twitter folder, and call that logo. And so from left to right, we want the Twitter up top, and that we want all of this in a group, and we'll call that webcam. We'll bring that under that. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to even everything out. So we got our Twitter and we have our YouTube. So what we're going to do is we're just going to line up our Twitter with our logo. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And that'll make it so it'll look nice and clean. We'll line this up. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And so now it should look nice and even. So we can do Control H, Control T. Obviously the YouTube's going to be a little bit longer. And so that looks even to me. And now you're going to say, oh, well, the rectangle's a little bit too long. Don't worry. We can resize the rectangle, bring it in, fit it perfectly for this. Okay, so it looks beautifully just like that. And that's basically our stream overlay. Now we can make it bigger if we want to. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play around with this. I'm going to see what it looks like if I brought the bar down into the middle. I actually like the way that that looks a lot. And I'm going to just Control J, and I'm just going to fix this thing up. And I'm just going to change the color of this, which I'll put behind it, and I'll put on a color overlay, and obviously Control V for that color. And I think that that looks pretty nice, to be completely honest. Now you could do it with or without it. I think I like it a lot better without it. Put on a drop shadow. And the best part about being a designer is you can think that something's gonna look nice, and then it might not actually look nice. And so that's really what I like about being able to just do all of this myself. I get to be the person that tests it. I get to be the person that I get to critique myself. And so if I don't like it, then I can change it. The problem with being a designer, I guess, per se, is you kind of get stuck kind of having to guess what the other people want, and that's not really what you want to do. So if you're stuck guessing with what a person might or might not want, you're kind of going to get screwed over, and it's really unfortunate. So I'm just going to add a little color overlay to that and change the color of that just so that it matches a little bit better. And now you're going to say, oh, well, where do you want to put your sponsors? You don't have any sponsors. Well, there's two things that you can do. You can either attach sponsors on the bottom of the top of the banner, you can attach them on the top of the video, or at the bottom instead of your name. And I think I'm going to do that. That seems like a good idea. So I'm just going to put my sponsors, or the ESN sponsors, at the bottom of this. So I'm going to go File, Open, Libraries, Pictures, and make sure that you have all of your sponsors and everything that you're going to be using. So I have my sponsors already preloaded with the things that I want it to be. And they're all like similar sizes and everything, so it works out that way. And I can just Control T and just kind of fit them on there the way that I please. So I'll line this up with the left side and just kind of see how this might fit. Alright, so that looks good. Just like that, actually. And I'll extend this all the way down. And actually just a little bit more. Put that underneath the webcam. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the colors of this. And I want it to be gray. Now I want it to be kind of have like a little bit of an off color. So I'm trying to see which color I just changed. So I changed that color. That doesn't really make a difference, but I'll just copy this layer style and just paste it over all of the color overlays that there are. And this will make everything just look nice. Just put a color overlay on everything, just like that. And I can change the size a little bit. Just put that right towards the center, just like that. Zoom out to 100%, and it looks pretty good, in my opinion. I'll just Control-G, sponsors that group, and then put a drop shadow on it. Use global light 90%, bring that down, put up a 4, and that looks good. So all of that is right there, and I think that it looks pretty decent in my opinion. I would definitely stream with this. Now the only thing that you're gonna have a problem with is you want this to be centered. So I'm just gonna center this really quick and change the size so that it fits properly. And voila, you got basically everything that you're looking for in an overlay. And I'm just gonna add this drop shadow that I have on this rectangle to my entire webcam box, and boom. Now I'm gonna change the color of this. Just bear with me. It's just so that I can see the drop shadow and everything that I want to make it like yellow. That contrasts completely, so you can see all the drop shadow. You can see basically everything and how it's going to look. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add in a webcam. So I'll just find a regular 720 webcam, HD webcam, just somebody's image. Let's see if I can grab just a standard high definition 720p. Okay, so that looks good. Copy image, paste, not crop, but marquee. Just bring this right on down there and just fix it all up. Shift Control I, delete, and fit that right into that corner. And the best part is you can kind of play around with the size. And so that looks like it fits beautifully. So don't really mind that. Filter, blur, lens blur. Okay. Just kind of like change the color of it. And what I like to do is I like to make it so that it has the same kind of overlay as the color that I'm using. So a dark blue looks nice. So this is basically what the stream overlay is going to look like in the end at 100. So kind of just tell me what your thoughts are. You can obviously play around with a few little things if you want to. You can make even like a little bit of a triangle. So here I'll show you like a triangle that I might make. Line it up with this corner right here. Zoom all the way in. So right here, the corner, shift, bring it down, and bring it up. New layer, fill path. Okay. Color overlay. And you just choose the same color that you've been working with. You can choose a different color that you've been working with. And that's basically just how it's going to look. Control J, edit, transform, flip horizontally, and just drag it over to the other side. Just line it up just like that. And it looks pretty good. Just bring that in a few tabs and bring these underneath the rectangle. And it can kind of act like a little bit of a banner. Kind of makes it seem like you've got a banner going on, just like that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream overlay. I think I'm going to be using this a lot more often. This is actually a really nice stream overlay, and I like how simple and plain it is. It really, really works. So you're going to want to make one with and without a webcam, so you're probably going to have to move your sponsors somewhere. But that's basically it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like rating and a comment below. Hopefully you guys noticed that there was an audio quality change. I actually recently upgraded to the Blue Yeti, not the Pro Edition, just a regular. I got it off of eBay for $79.99 on Black Friday, and it was refurbished, I guess, and it came pretty much brand new. So I'm definitely psyched about this. Hopefully you guys can tell a difference. I'm going to save my overlay real quick, and I'm just going to bring it up so that you guys can see. So library picture, new stuff, Twitch overlay, new folder. It's kind of lagging a bit. Alright, I'll just save it as me. And, okay, there we go. There's the folders that I was looking for. Rename to me. And I'll save one as a PNG. And I'll add in everything else and save this as a PSD. Add. And now what you're going to do to add it to XSplit is add media file. It's in the bottom left. Pictures. New stuff. Right in here. Twitch overlays me. And you're just going to add this in. And just resize it to how you like it. So that's what it looks like, guys. I'll hide all of this stuff for you. Even this little webcam. So that's what it looks like. I'll go F, Control R. Actually, hold on. Let me just fill screen. And that's what it will look like for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, a rating, and a comment below. Tell me what you think. Kind of show me what your images are. I'd really like to see the kind of graphics or Twitch overlays that you guys are going to be making. I really do think that that'd be sweet if you guys would send me in your designs. Now that you can put links in YouTube descriptions and stuff like that, I'd actually really like to see what you guys make. So take a Gyazo of it, give me an imager or something, and send it over to me. I'd like to see it, and if you want, I'll even make a critique on it. Share this video as much as you can. I know that this was kind of long, a little bit more complicated, but this was for kind of like, the first one was a beginner tutorial. This one's kind of more advanced. You should know the steps so I can kind of go through it quickly and not have to explain everything, kind of show you through the process of my mind. I guess this is more like in the mind of me / tutorial kind of thing. If you'd like to see more of this, I can make it into a series, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Tell me what you think of the sound quality, and again, show me the designs that you've made. I'd really like to see it. Put your portfolios down there if you'd like, but again, that's basically it. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next